enter at 3-1. Wisconsin unblemished, 4-0 to start the year. They've scored 85 or more points in each of their first 4 games, their best scoring start since 1975. And the opening tap is controlled by the Badgers. Wisconsin dressed in the all-whites, BYU in the alternate black with that royal blue trim. 9 to shoot for Wisconsin. A 3 wide right. And the rebound out of bounds, it stays on this end.
Well, that's going to be action that BYU is going to have to guard against. Is Wisconsin's bigs are so good at picking and popping in that ball screen action. You don't know if they're going to roll, if they're going to pop, and they're all capable three-point shooters.
Averaging 12 made threes per game. Getting downhill, denied by Keita on the inside for BYU, who turns it over. Off and running, up and under in the finish from Andrew Rohde.
Love Rohde's game, watching him on film. The transfer from Virginia is a perfect pressure release foul for this Wisconsin offense.
Saunders, his first touch. Here's DeBonta, the freshman phenom, 21 of his 25 in the second half against UConn. Right, lob over the top. Keita in traffic, able to stick it.
Grown man catch, grown man finish from Keita. And boy, did they miss that in that UConn game.
One-on-one in the lane. Winter. Offensive rebound. Back to the well, and he drops it in.
And that's where Wisconsin can really hurt you. They have the 7th tallest roster in the nation. And Nolan Winter's footwork and that feathery touch, he just gets better every single season.
Averaging over 14 points, shooting 60% from the floor for the Badgers. Right, knifing, up and under, a miss, and Winter clears. From the top, trailing 3 is short. And the rebound, the BYU point guard, Robert Wright III, the transfer from Baylor. 2 minutes in. DeBonta walled up. Outside, Baker coming off a big game against the Huskies. Delivers the corner 3.
Dawson Baker is shooting 50% from 3 this season. The perfect role player complement to Richie Saunders and A.J. DeBonta.
The most veteran guy on this BYU team, over 40 career games with the Cougars. Boy, to catch a release 3, around and out. Blackwell, it's a man's rebound, and he will earn it.
Line, John Blackwell, he's shooting 87% from 3. Every time I watch Blackwell on film, I'm convinced. I think he's the most underappreciated combo guard in the country. Just awesome pace and tempo about his game. He's just never sped up.
He's top 7 in the Big Ten in scoring on the young year. DeBonta's 3 rattles off.
I would be worried defensively if I was Wisconsin. Way too rhythmic of a look for DeBonta. He can make that.
Austin Rapp hears it from the mostly BYU crowd here in Salt Lake City. We're at the Delta Center, home of the Utah Jazz.
The students travel. The BYU student section is here.
Wisconsin coach Greg Gard told us they'll put a whole plethora of guys on DeBonta throughout the 40 minutes. Deep in the timer, right, jitterbugging. Saunders, his 3 is money.
That was filthy from Rob Wright. You want to talk about handles. Man, and a good sign for BYU. Richie Saunders knocking down a 3 because he did not make a 3 in that UConn game, went 0 for 7.
Blackwell misses the rebuttal. Nice touch pass underneath, and Rapp can't finish. DeBonta bothering the shot. Right, struggling with his dribble, and a whistle and a foul.
Top 5 conversation is Arizona. The more they win, that's the best resume in the country. I think they're should be number 1 in the country on Monday.
And Jazz CEO, you saw Danny Ainge sitting courtside. Wisconsin with the basketball, down by a bucket with 10 to shoot. They enter it in to Winter. It stays with the Badgers. Knocked out of bounds by BYU.
That was a good hold and dig by the freshman, number 7 for BYU, Hadim Boop. 6'9", tough matchup, held his own.
Wisconsin leads the Big Ten in made threes on the young year. They've started 0 for 5 from distance and a missed runner from Boyd. Saunders knifing through, and he draws a foul. It's on Nick Boyd. It is his first personal foul.
So much conversation about A.J. Dibonsa, and rightfully so. But Dibonsa's so good that we forget how good Richie Saunders is, who was first team All Big 12 last season and the most improved player in the Big 12, and he's averaging a quiet 19 points a game.
And remember, Saunders went off against this Wisconsin team in the NCAA tournament. He had 25 points and 7 rebounds. 7 to shoot. Dibonsa may have been grazed on the 3. It barely nicks the rim, and the rebound the Badgers. Wisconsin has it scored in 2.5 minutes. They've missed their last 6 shots. Pick and pop, the big fella from beyond the arc. That is flat, and the rebound to Maruss for BYU. Dibonsa draws a crowd. Extra pass. Wright gets a clean look. He delivers the 3.
That's the way they want to play. All set up by the hockey assist from Dibonsa and the extra kick by Saunders.
Transition defense, a huge point of emphasis for Wisconsin in this game. Blackwell muscling into the lane.
Tallest team in the country per KenPom, and how great of a free throw shooting team they are, but they shoot a ton of threes. They shoot about 32 threes a game, and they don't turn the ball over. You're going to be in every single game you play when you have those kind of numbers.
Offensively, these two teams have been mirror images of one another on the young season. Outside, Maruss lines up another 3. That one is short. Long rebound, and it stays on this end. Next dead ball sends us to immediate timeout. A collision and a whistle and a foul.
You guard that.
You can't. Already has 12. 3 for 5 from the field. He's hit a 3, and he's 5 for 6 from the foul line. Boyd lays it in. He's played with 2 fouls. He's been on the bench for about 6 minutes of game time.
Oh my, no way.
Driving kick 3 is an air ball. A wrestling match for it, and a foul called.
That didn't start to click, especially on the road, neutral site, NBA arena. Shots are going to start to fall for them. Defensively, there needs to be way more on-ball pressure because BYU is far too comfortable moving it wherever they want.
It's a 12-point cushion for BYU. Baker slithers in, puts it home with the left. Back to a 14-point lead. Wisconsin has really missed Boyd. He's only played 7 minutes in this first half. He picked up 2 quick fouls. Carrington downhill, pulls it up, and he draws a foul. BYU leaving Richie Saunders out on the floor with those 2 fouls. Inside of 5 minutes before intermission. Boyd gets it around Keba.
He's just silky smooth. He glides to the rim as good as any scoring guard in the country.
Step back, corner 3, Saunders slides across the rim. Kept alive underneath. Blackwell claims it for the Badgers. It's down to a 10-point deficit for Wisconsin. Carrington's hit a couple of 3s in this first half. Blackwell's yet to get on track, has just 1 field goal. Loses it. Winter back to Blackwell. Turnaround. That is tough.
Man. So good at playing off of 2 feet and unafraid to go at Dibonsa in that one-on-one ISO.
That is a possession that could inject some life into this Badgers team. A quick rise three's no good.
And a great closeout from Rapp. You're seeing a much-needed energy burst defensively for Wisconsin.
Badgers are on a 6-0 run. Boyd. Winter at three. Short. Saunders flies in. Boyd shuts him off. Playing with 2 fouls. BYU shooting a blistering 54% in this first half. Pirouetting right, terminates. Saunders coasting, banks it through.
Saunders, very smart drive. Nick Boyd with 2 fouls, attacks him, and you could just see Boyd just steps off because he didn't want to get that 3rd foul.
Wisconsin just 33% from the floor on this end, and a foul.
I don't have any charisma. You know, I'm like the most awkward person ever. I'm literally making this charisma talk awkward.
Awkward charisma. Charisma is life. It's an 8-point lead for BYU. Wisconsin knocks in both free throws. They're now 9 of 11 at the line. 2.5 to play in this first session. Wright couldn't capitalize. Here comes Boyd. Carrington a 3, short. A run out, Saunders ahead, lays it in.
Rob Wright having vision in the front court to throw it ahead, identify a teammate. Saunders sprinting in transition.
Quick hands, Richie tries to throw it off the leg.
Look at that.
What a BYU has won 19 of their last 20 games here at the Delta Center. Just a stone's throw from over the top, bothered by Winter. And Wisconsin gets a stop on their first defensive possession.
Defended well by Wisconsin off that back screen from Saunders.
See if Blackwell can get on track in this second half. Draws a double team. Open 3 from the corner. It's down for Andrew Rohde. Just the 4th 3 of the game for the Badgers. Wright navigates, feathers it in.
The ball in the hands of Rob Wright are directly connected to his brain and his feet. It's on a string.
Burrowing down the... There are 4 BYU Cougars who have multiple fouls, including Saunders and DeBonsa, who each have a pair.
We got zone for BYU right now.
5 to shoot. Boyd, a 3, offline. Rebound run down by the Badgers. Rapp has it, begging for a timeout, and he gets the call. It's an 11-point lead for BYU. We'll take a time.
On the floor for a loose ball, saving that possession, getting it back quickly. Got to see that for Wisconsin. More fight on the defensive end.
Badgers are 12-0 in the month of November over the last 2 seasons, tied with Oregon for the best mark in the country. That is an air ball from Rohde. Possession, BYU.
Rohde's a very capable 3-point shooter. He shot 41% at Virginia last season, but he struggled a little bit this season to find his rhythm. Just 33% his first 4 games.
Baker powers it through. Lead is 13 for the Cougars. Wisconsin shooting just 21% from 3. They are 4 of 19 in this contest, and a foul on the baseline. It's called on DeBonsa, and that's going to be number 3 on the freshman phenom. Hard pass down low. Blackwell catches deep, miss. Had it bothered by Boop. Baker probing. DeBonsa, contact, offensive foul, and
half. There was actually a little bit less contact on that offensive foul than when Nick Boyd was called on a blocking foul in the first half. extend that right arm. That's what the referees are looking for.
This game just got flipped on its head. DiBonsa on the bench with 4 fouls, pocket pass and a jam. Winter with the finish.
Wisconsin loves those empty side pick and roll actions.
Corner 3, Baker swirls it home.
How good has he been? 11 points in this game for Baker.
Boyd muscles it up and in. How did he do that?
Oh boy, we are trading rhythm and tempo buckets right now.
This feels like an NCAA tournament game. The sequel to last March in the second round, BYU won a thriller 91-89. Built a big lead. Badgers came storming back. Dawson Baker's had the hot hand for BYU. Figures in 3 of his last 4. Wright loses the handle. Boyd 1-on-3 into traffic, and a foul called on BYU. It's against Baker. That is his second foul.
Back-to-back elite possessions for Nick Boyd. Didn't play much in the first half due to foul trouble. Gets the steal and then draws the foul. And that previous possession had a beautiful finish.
A 3, halfway down but out. Skying in Diamande for the rebound. BYU's made their last 3 field goals. A miss from Wright. Tap out saves the possession. A dish.
Another dime in the paint from Rob Wright.
Boyd with the left. Off the window.
This is just so good. He's so good off the bounce. Strong, good tempo.
Diamande, that's not in his wheelhouse. He missed 3 at Baker in the second half. Has 8 points and the ball in his hands after Diamande splits the pair. Picking up full court, and Boyd draws a foul.
Yep. That's the right call.
It's on Diamande.
Boyd is that dangerous combination of strong and fast, and he's very good at baiting defenders to reach.
Started every game 2 years ago on that incredible run to the Final Four for Florida Atlantic. Missed banker from Carrington. Here comes BYU pushing tempo. Russ lines up a 3. Didn't get the bounce. Winter with his 10th rebound. He has another double-double on the young season. Janicki underneath, spinning. Winter tips in his own miss.
It's one of the other areas that he's really good. If he doesn't get it the first time, he just has this relentless pursuit around the rim. A little life here from the Badgers.
BYU led by 13 when A.J. DiBonsa got saddled with his 4th foul. He's been on the bench. Badgers have trimmed it to a 7-point deficit. Saunders trying to turn the corner, bothered by Belauskis. 2 blocks from the Lithuanian. Rob Wright initiates the offense. Saunders double pump, slices through.
One of the biggest differences in his game from sophomore to junior was when he got into traffic his junior year last season, he ball faked, he shot faked. That was a good example there in that possession on the baseline.
Blackwell's counter, no. And Keita rips it away. BYU has weathered the Wisconsin storm. Monday headed to the line.
Because as soon as he comes back in, you know what Wisconsin's going to do. They're going to be hunting him. Rapp got away with a travel there.
Winter from the top. Rebound BYU.
Winter cannot get it going from 3. 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. Good split from Wright.
Saunders 3, he nails it.
Felt like he really needed that one for his confidence.
Boyd loses it out of bounds and a foul.
16 for Saunders.
This was the third foul against Dawson Baker. BYU's on a 9-0 run. And Boyd's free throw pops out. Just his third missed free throw of the year. Came in at 90%. Splits the pair. The deficit is 15 for the Badgers. BYU ranked 9th in this week's AP poll. Top 10 for a third consecutive week, their longest streak since the 2010-2011 campaign. 10 to shoot. Right at the point. Dawson, love it. BYU has 7 to shoot on the inbounds. Wright against Boyd, who's in foul trouble. Wright pulls up. Offensive rebound. Baker gets downhill. Jump pass for Russ. And Wisconsin claims it. Badgers pushing tempo. Boyd 1-on-3 to the cup. And he delivers.
It's so good. As Wisconsin continues to win, they're going to talk about Nick Boyd at a higher and higher level. He is effortless in transition.
Has 11 points. Came in averaging around 20. Saunders. Whistle.
No choice. You have to be an elite defender. But Nick Boyd has he's got a strength to his glide that is usually one or the other.
Trailing 3, Boyd around and out. Boop has been fantastic in relief off the bench for BYU.
Throw it up.
Corner 3. Boop with the assist. Russ with the dagger 3. Largest lead of the day for the Cougars. Boyd bailed out by a whistle. DeBonsa picked up his 4th foul. Just under 18 minutes on the clock in this second half. So he's been on the bench for a while. And the lead continues to swell for the Cougars. Boyd's free throw pops out. Doesn't get the back end of the 1-and-1. Rob Wright at the controls. Right. Congested area. Punched away. Boyd on the run for Wisconsin. Carrington snaps it over to Blackwell. Badgers 2 for 8 from downtown in the second half.
But a really good, clean look. Just can't seem to find any rhythm on the offensive end. Sometimes you're playing in those NBA arenas, huge arena, your depth perception is thrown off.
And it's been that kind of day for the Badgers.
And they're a great, this is top 3 free throw shooting team in the country. We're an 84% free throw shooting team. And they're at just 63% in this game.
Boyd had it stripped. Diamande. BYU with numbers. Right spots for a 3. And Rohde's there to catch the air ball. Lead pass. Right. Contact. Offensive foul. Mike O'Donnell.
You've never seen a game at the Marriott Center. That's one of the most incredible home atmospheres in the country.
This one being played at the Delta Center, home of the Jazz in Salt Lake City. Shot clock at 6. A.J. DeBonsa spinning on Blackwell. Gives it up. Saunders, an NBA range 3 is no problem. .23 points for Richie Saunders. 7 and change to go. Boyd powers it down and 1.
Really extend this 7 minutes. Wisconsin can make this a long 7 minutes by getting to the charity stripe. Our
upcoming college basketball slate on NBC and Peacock. Minnesota, San Francisco, Penn State in action against Boston, and then Oklahoma and Marquette on the 28th. 19-point lead here for BYU.
And you could start chipping away at this thing.
Blackwell into the paint. Rebound, got it around Blackwell, takes it away, and he lays it in. That is an easy one. 12 points for John Blackwell today. Saunders pulls off the screen.
He didn't force anything. He had a nice kick out for an assist. When Richie Saunders hit the N1-3, he runs right over to him and celebrates with him. I know that may sound like an obvious thing, but you'd be surprised at how much NBA scouts pay attention to those little culture details.
He is the ultimate teammate. Boyd, step back pop, it's a three, barely grazes the rim, it was flat. Carrington tracks down the loose ball miss. And an illegal.
5 minutes of work. Very efficient.
Blackwell spinning to get Saunders, loses the handle. Suffocating defense by the Cougars. The poise from DiBonsa. Hard pass underneath. DiBonsa slices. Wisconsin clears. They throw it away. They're 12.
Uses his body as a shield. He's got that quick step back and tough mid-range game. A quiet and easy 18 points for DiBonsa.
25 minutes he's been on the floor. That was our last media timeout with BYU. 87-58. DiBonsa. Rebound Winter, who's posted his 6th career double-double here this afternoon. Wisconsin has been stymied this afternoon beyond the arc, just 5 for 26, 19%. And Winter will head to the line to shoot a pair. It's tomorrow night on NBC and on Peacock. But what does this performance say most about BYU? Because, I mean, it's been complimentary basketball all the way around.
This is the team that we thought they were going to be. That a potential top 5 team, you know, with Final Four aspirations. If you're blowing out Wisconsin this early in the season, that's a pretty good sign. I would say this game, this performance, offensively and defensively, is a direct reflection of how good practice was after losing to UConn. As Kevin Young didn't go down and out and complain and whine and went to work. BYU, the players had a great couple of days leading up to practice, and they got Kate healthy as well.
Closing in on 2 minutes to go, 90-64.
You and I did not expect this at all.
No.
I mean, it's not that we didn't expect BYU to score 93 points at the Delta Center.
Back-to-back threes from Kostic.
You can expect that. It's how good they've been defensively.
This was a high-powered, efficient Wisconsin offense. It held them to 64 points, 36% shooting. Boyd, short, Kostic the rebound. 90 seconds to play. Rob Wright, if this game was somehow headed into overtime, he might hit a triple-double. He's got 7 points. He's got 7 rebounds. He has 11 assists.